Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Low Life.
I'm Maria.
I'm Paige.
And I'm Toby, and this is Dude, I Know Stuff. And we have a special guest today. Her name's Phoenix. She goes by Fee. If you could just go ahead and introduce yourself, that'd be awesome.
Hello, everyone. So, I'm Fee. I'm a UK model, content creator, TV presenter, technical support operative at gaming events. I do a few things, and I stream on Twitch every day. So I like to juggle things. I'm going to be talking about OnlyFans today and everything you need to know about that, really, which is a big thing that I do. And that's me.
Just killing it over every platform, pretty much.
Seriously.
Thanks.
So, yeah.
First guess, best guess, you know?
So, like Fee said, we're talking about OnlyFans today and just about how to be safe online. And so, Fee, you said that you are involved in the OnlyFans community. So could you tell us a little bit more about how you got into that, what you like about it, what exactly you do?
So when I started modeling, which was just over 3 years ago now, I was looking into ways that I could do it all full time. I was in a job that I hated. I worked in an office. I was a secretary, and I did 50 hours a week, and it wasn't fun. And so I wanted to get out of it, and just was looking at different ways to earn money. And OnlyFans came up, and people started saying it was something that would be really good to use. Among many other platforms, there's lots of content sites that you can upload separate videos and sell them separately. But this was one where you upload content and people join monthly. And so I started working on that and enjoyed what I was doing. I didn't start doing that well on it the first year. So the first year was kind of like building a content base. And so for people to join, the best thing when they join a new page is that they've got loads of content to see. I don't delete my content. So someone to join now, they would get 3 years of content.
Whoa.
For the super low price of $5, which is another thing that I can talk about, I guess.
Yeah.
Pricing.
So you've had it for 3 years then?
3 years, yeah.
Nice.
It started out, I think I charged $25, and I think I got a few people that knew of me from school, or people that just wanted to see me naked and stuff. And the more I started promoting and lowering my prices, I was getting more people. So actually, it's a hard one because you're putting yourself out there on the internet for a certain fee. And for me, $25 still was low for a whole month of content.
Yeah.
I do videos that are 10 minutes long, whereas some people do a 1 minute teaser and then charge you extra for the rest of it. One of the things that I stand out with is that I give a lot for such a low price, but that's how I keep my fans, I guess. Over the last couple of years, my price has dropped right down to it's $5 at the moment, because people just don't seem to want to spend more than $5 or $10 at most.
Yeah.
So my full price is $10, and I usually have a sale quite regularly at $5. I'm assessing it as I go along, but I think it's uncomfortably low.
Yeah.
But it means that I'll get more fans that would like to stay. And then those that do come in that are new realize that it's a really good place to stay. So a lot of people do stay for a long time, which I'm pleased with. Not everyone. And you've got they're the entitled guys, and girls are on there as well, kind of wanting everything and anything for $5. Hey, can you, and I always ask if people want to request any videos for the main feed. I do customs as separate things, so that's an add-on fee. So some people come in and basically request a custom for my feed without saying their name or something. They're can you do this? Can you do this? And whatever, anything else. It's all right, I'm I am a human being as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want to like chuck in
Like a build your own.
Yeah, and I'm happy to take ideas. I really like that side of things. But also it's kind of funny. You do get the people. There are different types of people on there. So there are people that understand that you are a human, whereas others are like, right, I want a 1 minute custom. I want you to do all the things, and I'm like, I can't even strip in 1 minute. But I understand people are on budgets and stuff, and it's one of the things you kind of get used to, and you can set boundaries, you can set minimum timings and stuff like that, which I do, because if I'm filming a custom, I'm gonna have to get ready, do my makeup. I always shave. I make sure that I plan out my outfit and how it's going to go, and if they want me to say anything specific. So when they do get customs, they get everything they ask for, basically.
How much is a custom?
So I charge $10 per minute on
Okay.
those.
Do you have to be subscribed to get a custom?
Yeah. So
Okay.
you don't have to have a custom, but some guys do specifically come and ask for customs because they want a private video with their name in it and stuff like that. And every now and then I do a sale on those, and that's $5 a minute as well. So I think it's quite a good value for money, especially as I used to charge a lot more for customs outside of OnlyFans. Because I'm in the UK, I have a fee that I have to change the currency when I get paid. You need to get a payout. There's like minimum payouts depending on what your bank is set up, or if you've got a credit card, or not credit card, a card that they pay you onto or something. But you also, so as a creator, you get a 20% cut, or OnlyFans get a 20% cut of what you make. So if I made $100 from a custom, I only get $80. And then if I transfer that to British pounds, I get about 50.
That's a really significant cut, actually.
So yeah, so $10 per minute for a custom is, I don't make as much as I would. But also with the pandemic, prices have come right down, and you know, I've a lot of the time I've lost a lot of fans. It's harder to gain them again, but I basically try and do everything I can to keep people around and do a sale here and there that helps. So yeah.
I'm sure that especially in the recent years, as OnlyFans has gotten a lot more popular, the I guess market of it has become really saturated. And even though, you feel like you are worth more, like $25+ more for whatever content, there's other people out there doing it for like $2 or $3. So you're like, if I want anything, I have to play the game and kind of lower my value in order to build a steady platform and steady base fans.
Exactly. If mine's $25 and then someone who comes in and they've got theirs as $3, someone's more likely to go to them. And then I guess they assess what the content is like and whether it's any good. But yeah, most people will go to the lower price sites. And yeah, because we've got people that have either lost jobs or have caught on to OnlyFans, and you hear a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you make loads of money. But it's not a get rich quick scheme. Like, it's not, you don't make money overnight. It's a grind. I work every day on that site, or for that site. I try and create content every day. So I'm uploading every day. I try and have a day where I do a load of videos. So I'm not always having to make content every day, but I like to build up a backlog so that I'm at least offering the best I can and offering loads. But yeah, because the market's become so saturated, and you've got these celebrities on there now that have like millions of fans or thousands of fans. $3 is fine for them because they've got the quantity.
Yeah, when he times it by like 3 million, it's fine.
It's fine. And it's like they don't even have to do much, whereas I feel like I do work my ass off for it, but I know that it's an income stream as well, so I have to treat
I feel
it
like I remember seeing something about Bella Thorne joining OnlyFans, and it kind of ruined the platform. I don't actually understand what happened in that situation, though.
So she joined the site, and she said, if you join, you'll get to see me naked. And she posted a like semi-naked picture, I believe, and so I think people.
Which she does on her Instagram anyway.
Yeah. It's like the hand bras or the implied nudity. So it is kind of like, yeah, I've been busted gut doing all of this, and then someone comes in and swoops in and gets. And I think a few of my fans said, "Oh yeah, I joined it just to see what all the fuss was about." And I guess that is another thing, like having a publicity thing happen. I know there was a girl on Twitch as well. I can't remember what her name was. I don't know if it was a planned thing, but she was streaming on Twitch, and she said it was supposed to be an OnlyFans live show. And that was a kind of like
I do know about this, and she only got like a 3-day ban or something, and people were pretty
Whoa.
upset about it.
Which is really strict. Like I would never do that, but I can understand she probably thought, I don't think she streamed on Twitch that often either. So I think maybe she thought that would be the plan, to get some sort of publicity from it. And
You just fly under the radar or something.
Yeah, even bad publicity gets you attention. So
Do you
think
think
you're talking about her? So
And the whole like Belle Delphine too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you found though that you're able to kind of create more personal connections with your fan base that helps you keep returning? Do you call them clients in this case? Viewers? What?
I always think about what I'm calling them, because I think clients is I like that they are fans, or even, I don't know, I guess friends is kind of too much of a boundary pusher. But I have built really good relationships with them. I guess I'd say fans. And one of my things, or one of my strengths, is that I find it easy to make friends with anyone. And I find it easy to build a rapport with anyone. And so a lot of them do stay because they like that I take the time out. When new people join, I voice note them and say, hey, there's an auto message that you can send out when someone joins. And I really hated that option because it's not personal, it's kind of robotic. But there was a point where I was getting loads of fans, because I'm a Suicide Girl, and Suicide Girls have their OnlyFans live streams, and I would start doing those. And before the pandemic, you could stream a live stream and get like, there was one good day where I think I made 70 fans in one live stream of an hour. That's awesome. But now it's like, since the pandemic, I'm lucky to make 5 new fans. I think it's crazy how the dynamics have changed. But where was I going with this?
Building like personal relationships.
That's relationships. Thank you. See what I mean? My brain's always over the place. But with the auto message, I did start doing an auto message, but I put in there like, I don't really like these things, but this is my way of reaching out to you. And this is a prompt to say, if you message me back, I will do a proper intro and we can talk. So like, I get people to message me new sub or something when they join. And so it prompts me. And sometimes I don't need to see it. Sometimes I do see the notifications and I will just message them myself. Yeah. But sometimes I'll see that in my message inbox and I'll be like, hey, how you doing? This is what I do. If you have any requests or if there's any stuff you like, please let me know, because basically everything I post as well is based off what people have asked. So they always have an involvement in what I'm doing. I list all the types of content I do on my main page. And so they can see I do pretty much everything. And
is there anything that's just like a hard pass, absolute no?
Taboo stuff. So like racial slurs or what else have
I feel like that's probably a good idea.
I feel like that's totally reasonable.
That seems fair.
There's a massive market for taboo stuff, but morally it's not okay for me to do. And I can offer loads of other stuff, so I'm happy with what I offer. I do domination as well, mainly. So I'm a cam girl and I do all sorts of camming, but I'm also a dominatrix. So a lot of people like that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of open to everything, and I like that I ask them what they like and they tell me, and then I'll post it. And something as simple as that, people are like, oh, she listened to me.
Yeah.
She's a human. And I'll check in with people and say, how are you doing? I always say there's no pressure to explain anything or to tell me their ins and outs of their lives. But I feel like I create a safe enough space that people do talk about things. And I'm almost like a therapist to some people, which a lot of people are like, no, I'm not your therapist. Don't come to me for this, that, and the other. But I think if we can talk, and if that's something that
Just
someone
have
might
open
like,
communication. Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I do agree that sometimes taking on everyone's problems can
Weigh on you.
feel, but I try and keep it enough so that I can deal with it and manage it and do my own personal life stuff.
Yeah.
But it's that real important thing of just treating everyone like a human.
Yeah.
It goes a long way, and then they treat me like a human. So I do also have some boundaries in that, like, if they want to sext or if they want to send me the videos or photos of stuff, that is more than $5 worth a month.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you do need to kind of, I would expect some sort of tip, and I'm very nice about it. But also, if people carry on, then I'm like, come on, buddy, like, I'm not your performing monkey. But most people, the long-term guys, are all so nice. They're all really respectful. Some people just tip me for no reason every now and then, and that's really nice. I know I've been struggling with the pandemic a lot, and contemplating moving back to my mum's because rent got so expensive, and there have been times where they've kind of pulled me out of that. And I think I do well on, like, just having people there for me that not only support the content but also treat me like a human being.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're very good and careful about treating your fans like human beings, and I feel like when you give someone that respect, they're more likely to give it back to you.
Exactly. And it does go a long way. I've seen that it works. Definitely for me, I can say that I've had a lot of more of a better response than just being a bitch to them, which I know there are some OnlyFans chat groups that are among content creators, and a lot of it is just for advice and support. And then every now and then you might get someone saying, oh, I've just, like, had an argument with someone because of this, ban them, and just to let you know that this person, like, doesn't, I don't know, is, like, very demanding and blah blah blah. And I'm like, there can be ways to resolve a situation rather than arguing with someone, I think. But maybe that's just the kind of person I am. I don't mind confrontation when it's needed, but there are different ways to confront a situation and diffuse it rather than shout at someone who is asking you a question because maybe they think they can get away with it. But actually, you can just explain, well, actually, this is how we do things here. If you want to go this way, then this is what we do. If you want to go this way, this is what we do. If you want to continue asking me for something that I can't give you, then sorry about that, but whatever. And most people are nice about it. Most people are nice about it.
I actually really like your perspective on this because I guess I never thought about it that way, where you're, like, really interacting with your fan base and you're, like, kind to them and you show them that you're a person. I probably because I'm not sitting here thinking about OnlyFans every day of my life, but it's just, like, not something I would have expected from a platform from that. And then the way that you say that some of your longtime viewers are, like, really kind and you, like, actually have, like, great interactions with them. I don't know why, but that's never really, like, crossed my mind either, because it really, like, when I think about it, I'm just, like, initially just like, oh, it's just, like, guys who are just, or girls, you know, just trying to get off. And, like, I just never really thought about the interaction aspect.
It's true. There are a lot of content creators who don't. I'm still laughing. There are a lot of content creators that don't that do go down just that I create content for you, you like it, you pay me for any extra stuff, and that's it, and there's nothing more, and that's fine. For me, it's I don't feel like, I think it's more of a moral thing for me, maybe, or just I like to do it my way, and I don't think I'd get as good a response from them if I didn't do it like this.
I mean, at
But
the end of the day, you're running a business for you. So
Yeah.
being in that place of power and being like, this is the way I'm going to do it, I feel like is very empowering, and it gives you a lot of control and makes you feel better about what you're putting out there and being in control of what other people see.
Yeah, and I'm getting to know people as well. And like OJ says, like, I just hang out with subscribers and chat during the live streams, and it's not all just about the content, but some people do just come there for the content, and that's fine. I like to give them the option to get to know me. And when I say get to know me as well, I know we touched on this about like giving too much information about yourself or sharing really personal details. Like, I have a boyfriend. I have a life. I have all these things that I'm juggling, but I won't go telling everyone, hey, my boyfriend, my boyfriend and I did this, or this is what, like, I feel like they don't need to know that, but I don't need to tell them all about the ins and outs of my life or where I live or what my real name might be, for instance. But we can still get to know each other and see how we both, I don't know, live or what we like. And I have hobbies and interests like anyone else, and I share that with them as well. There's a lot of behind the scenes things from shoots or from body painting on Twitch, like body painting, there's only so much you can see on Twitch, but I've done videos where I just wash it off, and I'm like, that's content, and people seem to like that kind of thing. Plus it's very sad that when I spend 12 hours creating a whole look and then I have to wash it off in like 10 minutes, so at least
I see a lot of TikToks like that.
Right.
On that note, because it sounds like you put a lot of emotional labor to it, which I think comes with kind of any sort of like public interaction where as one person you're interacting with a lot of different people and doing it in not like a fake way, but trying to be very authentic about it too, which it sounds like you are. How do you kind of balance that emotional output with your own personal life too? Not even just like in a romantic way, but like in platonic friendships or with family or so on, and how you kind of approach that and keeping yourself sane too.
It can be difficult. There are I've experienced a lot of loss this year through the pandemic, and we've lost, I think it's 7 people since January, and there was like that was really hard to deal with grief wise. I've never lost that many people in such a short space of time, and I was like, my kind of thing was, I'll just carry on, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, because if I stop then I'll break down. But also kind of just saying that I might not be producing as much content lately because I'm going through some stuff, even being honest about that. But that's not quite the answer I was going for. The fact that you can take on a lot and you can burn out as well. I've experienced that, so I'm trying to be mindful of pacing myself and not, scheduling time for messages, maybe twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. And like I say, I have time every day to make content if I need to. But what I'm trying to do more of is spend one day a week where I knock out, film all of the content, and so I'm not exhausting myself every day by making tons of videos.
Right. I'm sure you have to be in
And
a completely different headspace to create your content as well.
it's strange. So for me, like, I feel like I just deal with grief differently, in that there were times where it did hit me and I was like, I'm not going to be filming anything today. I'm not going to be uploading anything. It might be a few days. Most people are really, really respectful about it and fine. And they know that I've got a life and they know that there's 3 years of content there. So if they want to get off or, you know, watch some stuff, it's all there for them. And a lot of them say I do more than enough for what they get. And a lot of them also say that I should put my prices up, but I want it to be affordable for everyone anyway. But yeah, there were times where I just said that I need to take some time off, and
Yeah,
I'll be back
because you're
when I'm
human.
ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there might be a burst of energy, and I'll be like, I'm going to make a video now. So even
Yeah.
when I was going through it, there are a lot of people that if they make content when they're going through a hard time, you can see it and you can notice it. For me, I
that's
think
really upsetting.
it was, right? But for me, it's just I did it when I was in the mood, whether I was going through all this stuff or not. I would do it when I'm just feeling like I could do it at the time, and so it was okay. Or I think the content was good.
Yeah.
I hope people thought it was good, but yeah, I guess that's another thing to be mindful. If I'm really not in a good mood or I'm feeling a bit emotional or on edge or anything like that, I need to make sure that I'm not putting a video out while giving off that energy, because
Yeah.
I don't want
Because
that
people will
being on there.
notice.
Yeah. Saying that as well, I had COVID last year,
Whoa.
and I did work through that.
Oh my
in
gosh.
doing
Did it hit you
and
really hard? I know it hits people differently depending.
it was annoying because a lot of my videos had me like coughing in them. And so it was like I would film a video and I would cough loads. So I'd be like, no, that can't do. I'll do another one. And there were like a couple of coughs during the video. So I was like, okay, that's not too bad. And there were ones where I'd cut out sections of the video. There's a load of editing that goes with it as well sometimes.
Yeah.
But people do like home videos. People I think prefer the non-professional content with OnlyFans as well. I've got a bit of both, but mainly just homemade videos from my phone.
I feel like OnlyFans is one of their big kind of brand characteristics is authenticity. You know, because these are real people who are kind of doing their own thing in like the comfort of their own homes and like controlling their own business and their own content.
I think on that note too, it's like definitely, I didn't really think of it in that way, but there's such a breakaway from the traditional porn industry. And there's so much critique around that with not just like how they treat the stars in it, but also like how obscure and not based in reality like a lot of the scenery and the sets can be. And so I feel that OnlyFans really fills in that space of like what people are actually looking for and wanting in this kind of content.
It's like a virtual girlfriend, I guess.
Yeah.
That they have.
Yeah.
You get the interaction, which a lot of people have said before, like, why would anyone pay for that when it's free? But I'm like, you're not talking to the person that you're watching. You're not getting them interacting with you. You don't know them, which is fine. If you want
a different kind of audience.
Level. Yeah. But there are people that are very lonely. There are people that don't have any friends that just want to talk to someone.
There are people who need the emotional connection to feel attraction.
Yeah. And so it's nice to be able to provide that and actually get to know them and show interest genuinely, because I am just interested in, I don't think any one person is boring. I think everyone's got something to give, and everyone is different. And I think that's quite fascinating, meeting people from all over the world, all sorts of different people in completely different jobs, people with families, people with no families, people into different fetishes. Since doing this and camming, it's opened my eyes to so many different things. Not kink shaming or anything. There are things that I've been like, oh, okay, that's that's a fetish. Like, that's really interesting. For instance, I never knew that there's a fetish, and I can't remember what it's called, of pretending to be pregnant and pretending to push out a baby and scream. That's something that people are into. And I was like, oh, okay. And actually, I was really excited to pretend to do that, because it's, for me, I didn't know that someone could enjoy it, but it's like that I thought that was quite interesting, that someone wanted me to do a custom video where I was acting that out. So it's kind of been good for me to like see that there are things that people are into that we might not all get off on or be interested in, but there's a market for everything out there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you get like some people come in and they're like, oh, you know, I like the usual stuff. And I'm like,
you're gonna need to narrow that down, bub.
Yeah, I really like, I understand that you might be a guy jacking off to a girl getting naked and orgasming and stuff like that, but that might not be, that's quite a common thing, but it might not be the usual for everyone. So I think it's quite cool.
Have you just like kind of discovered things about yourself in this process too that you didn't necessarily know that you enjoyed or that you liked? And you don't have to go into details, but just kind of like if it's opened or expanded your horizons.
Maybe wanted you to try new things with your boyfriend.
Gosh, it has opened my eyes. Maybe not to trying out these things, but just
knowledge-wise
they exist. Yeah. And saying that, like I have, when I told him about the domination stuff, because we were just seeing each other when I was doing this. We've only been together for 6 months, but we've been seeing each other for a long time. And he's okay with it, but we do have boundaries and things that I don't just blurt out into conversation. Oh, this is what I did at work today. So we have some respect there. But there were, when I talked about domination, he was like, oh, well, I've never done the other way round. So like we tried that and it was fun. It's not, I think for me, like, it's weird that I love doing it for work, but it's not my preference to do it at home so often. But it was really cool to try it. And you know, it's like one of those, like, every now and then that might be a thing that we do, but no, I guess most of the other things, like I just am not in doing to me, but I like doing to other people. I like bossing people around, because I guess I was bullied at school and I was made fun of for various things, and I guess now being able to like take out my anger and frustration on someone that wants me to do it, that's paying me to do it, is pretty cool, I think.
That actually
sounds like
really
me in
nice.
a mosh pit. That's like my release. Like, just put me in a mosh pit. We're set.
So funny. There are some people that do want me to do uncomfortable things. Like someone he was harassing me on Twitter a lot. Like, he would create new accounts and be like, "Oh, you haven't answered this question." He wanted me to break his nose.
Whoa.
And I was like, that
meet
I
with
could get
you
into trouble.
Yeah.
So he wanted a real time session, and what I would do is I hire out a dungeon or a hotel and meet them somewhere not close to my house, of course. But meet them somewhere like in the city,
neutral
somewhere. Yeah, and but he wanted me to physically break his nose and stamp on it, and
whoa,
lots of things I can't do. I won't do that because I don't want to go to jail, or you know, even if you sign an agreement form, I think I've seen somewhere in the news before where even if it was consensual, that's still bodily
battery.
harm.
It's still battery.
Yeah, it's not good. So yeah, there's that as well. I've had a few like stalkers and people that have become too involved. Sometimes, so that's one of the drawbacks of getting to know people and being so open and genuine. Sometimes people mistake kindness for something more.
Interest.
People, and I've had a few people like fall in love with me but I don't know anything about them, and I try and explain like the reality of this is it's a fantasy, but it's not. My kindness isn't fake. I'm not doing it to just have the business. And there are other people that are like, oh my god, I love you, I'm so in love with you, I think about you all day and all night. And it's hard to deal with that sometimes, because you don't want to be mean to them, but you do have to kind of say that this is the reality. It's not healthy to get into those type of situations, but also people's brains work differently as well, so it's always a difficult one.
Like, having been through those situations where you, like you mentioned, you've had stalkers in the past, like how do you protect yourself? Just being so out there and having a public platform like on OnlyFans, does the website provide any like protection for you, or do you have to just deal with all of that yourself?
Kind of, you can report people.
Okay.
The best they can do is ban an account.
Yeah, that doesn't sound super effective.
But they
can always make another.
And,
Yeah.
like IP addresses don't mean anything these days either. So most of the time it's a conversation, and then it could eventually lead to a ban, because I always have to put myself first and think about my own mental health. And
Right.
it does take its toll. If I have to ban someone because they become too intense, I feel awful about it. But I have to remind myself that this is to protect me and other people, because I've had times where someone has, and actually I get this more on Twitch these days, where someone
We're getting bolder.
intense. Yeah, and like my sister pops in the stream, and they added my sister. They added when I would say, oh, there's my friend, that's an IRL friend, they'd follow everyone I knew. And it got to the point where they were stalking me in other chats and things like that. And it was a case where I had to ban them. But this was also a catfish situation. So they joined our community and portrayed themselves as a young girl, and it was a man. And it was just a really stressful situation, because they also got hold of my address. So they were trying to threaten me to come to my place.
Wow.
And it was just so they I don't think they've given up yet. I think they still come into the stream every now and then. We've been clear on the message of, you need to give up. Like they've threatened my safety, so that you can't come back from that.
Yeah.
But I've been in touch with the police. They live in Australia, so I mean, it doesn't mean they can't do anything. But things like that, like obviously you can move house.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't want it to be as intense as that. But
I feel like it's tough, because it can just go downhill so quickly. Where I mean, sometimes, like, I typically try to give people the benefit of the doubt as well, where maybe they're just like, they haven't had interactions with a girlfriend before. They don't like fully understand what is an appropriate boundary to cross and what, like, where those lines are, just purely out of the fact that they're naive or like they're not there. But you give one person the benefit of the doubt, and next thing you know, you have somebody that's going like way beyond what's ever even deemed appropriate. And balancing
going off that, you mentioned that, some people have fallen in love with you, or, mistook your relationship as something more real and tangible and exclusive, when really it's, it's a fantasy and it's a business and it's all kind of part of it. So that, like, when you're interacting with your fans or you're making a custom or something, I would imagine that, there's probably a fair number of people who almost want to treat you like a virtual girlfriend, or almost want to be like, compliment you and like say that they love you and like also want that affection back. Is that then also taboo for you, because it kind of crosses that emotional serious boundary? Or I guess it maybe depends, like if they understand that it's not real love, it's just kind of like fantasy love versus like actual affection.
I guess I guess I just assess it on a case by case basis. And oh, hi.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Kitty.
Paul the girl cat. She's actually my co-host, but she's never here. So
hello.
So with like, yeah, I guess I just have. Oh god, she's purring. I guess you just have to assess like how they're talking. I guess you do have that like surface flirting, but I don't tend to go too far with that, like, because I don't want them to get the wrong idea. But I'm
Right.
nice. I'll be nice, but try it. It's difficult to explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I guess also it's like if a guy's like, "Hey, I had a great time watching your videos. I thought it was like super hot." I wouldn't be like, "Oh yeah, that makes me so hot too." Like, I
Like
don't
not
know.
necessarily
But,
encouraging it.
It would more be like, I'm really glad I could do that for you, and this makes me happy that you're happy,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. And most of the time people get it. But I guess you can tell with certain behaviors that where it gets a bit too intense, and sometimes I will either distance myself in what I say, or just kind of bring the conversation back to normal rather than
Divert. Yeah.
something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense. It's you don't want to shut it down, because shutting it down kind of defeats the purpose of what you do in a way, because you're offering connection and like you're offering these things to people to make them feel better, either physically, emotionally, or both. So a shutdown kind of ruins that. But like you said, you've got to be careful with where it goes and how you respond.
Yeah, and I guess for me it can be a bit of a bad quality of mine, but I don't like to shut people down straight away, because I know everyone is different. People have been brought up in having a hard life, or like you say, might not know how to socially interact with people, so they might not know how to deal with things or how to express themselves. So if they are kind of pushing boundaries, then it's nice to at least be clear with them how it works, but also say, look, we can figure this out. Like, you don't have to like leave on account of me feeling uncomfortable, but like if you can kind of adhere to the rules, then there'll be no problems. But you do need a warning for them as well, because otherwise they'll just keep pushing and pushing. No,
I feel like so many people must come to you with so many preconceived ideas and how they think they're supposed to react or how they're supposed to, use this platform. And so there must be, a learning curve, and every content creator on OnlyFans is different. So maybe some allow more, some are stricter. It just kind of depends on who you stumble upon.
Exactly that. Everyone is different is such a key thing, because I allow a lot of people to, the more entitled people, like I will allow them to kind of ask things, and before I kind of shut it down or tell them off in a way. Whereas other people are like, no, get out of here, you're not welcome here. I don't know, that we will react in different ways depending on who we are as people. But yeah, everyone is different, and a lot of people don't even interact with the fans, or they'll charge a fee to message people or whatever. Whereas I'm a little bit more, I have a bit more leeway with all of that.
Yeah.
Different tiers of subscriptions on OnlyFans?
No, it's just subscriber. That's it.
Is there a follow and a subscribe, or is it just subscribe or nothing, kind of?
Yeah, subscribe counts as a follow, basically. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If somebody, so I haven't been on OnlyFans myself, so I'm not super familiar with the layout of it. So if I were somebody who's not subscribed, but like looking at your profile, do I get access to like a certain amount of content to decide whether or not I want to subscribe? Or do you have to kind of really push your content on other platforms because they don't get access to it on OnlyFans?
Exactly the latter. So they will come on, and it will just be they'll see my profile picture and a cover photo, a bit like a Facebook page. But all the content will be hidden. It'll just say subscribe for this amount, and they will see what content I offer from my little blurb on there. But they don't see any. There's no like teasers or anything like that. So yeah, I tend to push it a lot on Twitter because Twitter allows a bit more risque posts.
Content,
So you can do a lot. You can reveal a lot on Twitter and not get told off.
Is your Twitter link in your OnlyFans little bio then, so they can kind of backtrack and maybe learn more before they subscribe? Or does it really only go the other way? Does it only really go Twitter to OnlyFans?
I never really think about people coming onto my OnlyFans page because I feel like you have to lead people to it rather than the other way. But that's a good point actually, because people probably do browse, and like if I get posted on the Suicide Girls page, people won't know what kind of content I've got on there, and they might have a look and see the price, but they won't see any other links to find me anywhere else. So that's a good point. I should link that. I think I've only got a wish list link or something. So I'll write that down. I'll remind myself to check that out later.
Actually, speaking of the wish list, so like do people from just your OnlyFans or like from your Twitter, from your gaming channel, like does everyone contribute to that, or is it just the OnlyFans group?
It's everywhere. So I have like things that I can use for content, but I also have gaming stuff. My ring light got bought off my wish list. I've got a green screen that I haven't got up today. That got bought off my wish list. But yeah, I have it on my Twitch and my Twitter and my OnlyFans, just to make sure everyone knows that it's there and it exists.
Yeah, and it kind of feels more personal getting that kind of gift than necessarily just a cash donation.
Yeah, because I would put the cash towards all that stuff anyway. So pretty much, yeah, it's really, it's kind of cool having people buy stuff for me as well, because I never I never thought that was something that I could be capable of or have people want to do. And people do donate money as well and send stuff for like, which has helped me massively for rent during this period. So that's probably that is what that goes on. If I get money, it goes towards my rent and bills.
Yeah.
But the gifts as well are great.
Can you expand more on kind of the OnlyFans content creator community? Is there a lot of networking within OnlyFans? Does everyone kind of stay in their own lane and make sure they're not, I don't know, stealing other people's fans? Or, I mean, you can be subscribed to more than one person, obviously. So I'm just kind of wondering how much crossover there is.
You kind of, it's totally your choice. So I find that it's really good to have friends. I've got tons of friends in the business anyway, through I think just modeling and knowing people in that industry. So I have chat groups on WhatsApp with friends, and then Telegram is another messaging platform that has become really big in the OnlyFans community this past year or so, where you can join different chat groups. There's like mass share groups, so you can join a group that's got 30 or 31 girls, and you will all be posted on a certain day by everyone. So that gets you promoted on the platform, which there's no real other way to promote on OnlyFans. But the good thing about promoting yourself on OnlyFans is you're promoting to other users that have the platform already. Whereas if I'm promoting on Twitter, they'll have to sign up to get an account. But if another girl is sharing me, then their fans might think, oh, she looks cool. And we usually have like this is what I offer. If you join today and quote this, you get a free video or something. Like, it's a lot of like business orientated mindset, but it is good. My issue is that I don't like to do it all the time, because I don't want my feed just being me promoting other people every day. As a fan myself, or as a previous subscriber, I know what I like and I know what I don't like. And I think I put that into my work. So I think that's given me a good way of seeing it as well. So like, but also when I do it, I kind of say to everyone, right, for this month, I'm going to be sharing a girl every day. We do this because it helps our business. So if you support me, hopefully you can understand that's what I'll be doing. The posts last 24 hours, so they won't clog up my feed forever.
Yeah.
And also I always say I'll be posting as regularly. So I'll be posting my daily content or whatever bi-daily content. So they're not losing out. They're just getting an extra post a day promoting someone else. And I always say this helps me too. So
Because then they'll probably return the favor.
Yeah. And then the fans are like, oh, okay, well, if you put it like that, then that's fine. But if I'm just constantly spamming other content creators, buy this, buy into that, pay more money here, then they're like, what did I even sign up for? Like, I signed up for a set fee. I shouldn't have to pay extra. So I'm always big on that as well, like big on saying there's never any pressure to do so, but I'm doing it to try and help myself so that I can do this forever, I guess. And when you explain it like that to them, they're like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Fun. Yeah. So yeah, that's Telegram is definitely the biggest one. I've also met content creators on Twitter, but there are a lot of like spammy people that will just message you and you've never heard of them, you don't know what their content's like, and they're like, hey, can you share me? And I'm like,
yeah.
Like, not in a rude way, but
who are you?
Scared for the clout.
And it's hard because like with fan counts as well, you can be sharing. I mean, I really don't mind. I think promo is promo. So if they've got 10 fans, if they've got 100 fans, if they've got 500 fans, all of that is good because they're promoting me to other people that haven't heard about me. But there are some girls that are like, you have to have 300 fans before I even consider sharing you. And if you have 299, then you have to pin my post for a week, which is like at the top of your page, like Twitter, I guess. It's just like, I guess business is business for different people, I guess. And there are a lot of girls that are making loads of money on the site and doing it differently to me. I just morally, I don't always feel like I should do it that way because I don't feel like I can. But I'll be honest up front, and I'll do campaigns, or I'll promote the fact that if you do spend more money than your general subscription, you get bonus content. So there's an incentive for people if they do spend more money. Yeah. And people respect that more, for me, I think.
Do you ever worry that with how you have your channel set where you're like more personal with your fans, do you ever worry that as it continues to grow, you're going to lose that a little bit if it just becomes too overwhelming with how many followers you have?
I do worry about that a lot. I think the highest fan count I had was 400 just before the pandemic. But it was okay because a lot of the people didn't message. They didn't want to. I think about out of the 400, I think I had about 50 people constantly message me. So every day I might have
still a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. For me, I get thousands of messages a day across like lots of different platforms. So obviously I've got Discord, I've got OnlyFans, I've got Twitter, I've got 2 Twitter accounts, I've got 2 Instagram accounts, I've got Facebook, FetLife, my cam sites, some of those have messaging. I think last time I counted, I've got about 15 platforms that I should check. But OnlyFans is priority because people are paying for that. So I kind of just focus on that, and then my friends and family, and then anything else like Instagram and Twitter, you don't really get much return from that. So I kind of just say, look, I'm really sorry, but I've got a life to live and I can't be spending 12 hours a day responding to messages. But what I do is I tend to give it about an hour in the morning for messages. If I've got loads of messages, I tend to be able to clear them down in an hour. When it was 50 messages, I'd probably take a couple of hours, and then I would come on the next day. It wouldn't be morning and night. So I definitely did reduce the amount of time that I was interacting when I had more fans, but it still was daily. So that was fine. I don't know if I'll ever get back up to that amount again, but maybe once the pandemic clears, it'll get better. It started improving this last couple of weeks. I think I did a live show and I got a few more followers, and I don't know where I think I'm getting posted on different pages as well at the moment. And it's not an arranged share for share, but people are coming in. Whereas it was quite dead for a while, but there's still the long-term subscribers were still there. So
I definitely feel like it's probably going to get better once people, have jobs again.
I think so. I have faith that that's going to happen, and I think it will. When you have this thing where you can see all your expired subscribers, and I think I've got like 2,000 or something. So none of them are on the site or on my page anymore. But if you do a sale, I think it goes out as a notification to everyone that you're doing a sale. So I always update my sale. I think you can have it last for a month or something. So I always make sure that maybe twice a month I'll update that there is a sale on, and then I think that notification goes out to people. And then every now and then I do get an old person come back because the price has been lowered. So that, I mean, obviously the 2,000 people aren't going to come back, but maybe a small percentage of them might if I constantly do that as well. There's a lot of things to kind of think about and juggle and remember, and I have lots of lists that I look at.
I have to say, I feel like I've learned so much today, and I've also got to say, I honestly really love the way that you have your platform set up, and I know we met 2 hours ago, but you seem incredibly sweet, and you've just been an awesome guest. So now I just want to take some time to kind of let the Q&A and the Discord get going.
Should I begin with the Q&A? I've got it pulled up. Okay, so this first one is Gosh Hexana. I love these. Hotter or notter? A guy brings a bunch of magician props tucked away in his clothes on a date, but they fall out before he gets to the chance to use them. I want to say hotter
because I feel like he's definitely done this. Like all of his hotter or notter questions are based on
personal
experiences. Yeah,
that's a hotter for me, though.
This girl, she's gonna have a magical night. Like we're gonna whip out all the tricks, and then everything just falls out of the secret jacket, and you're
but it shows he put the effort in, and that's what I like.
That's really cute.
I think nerdy is hotter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's say I'll go with hotter.
I think I'm gonna be the only one that say not on that.
The reality
you have a problem with magicians?
Yeah, what do you bias here?
What do you have against magic, Maria?
It's just, I don't know. I would feel awkward for them.
Yeah, I think reality, if that did actually happen, I'd be like,
yeah.
I got somewhere to be now. But I think the thought is cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
All right, next one. What is the weirdest thing someone has asked you to do? He also made a comment in the chat earlier too that was like, if the question takes it too far, it's too personal, you don't have to answer. So I'm just gonna read them out, and no pressure. What's the weirdest thing someone has asked you to do on OnlyFans?
Yes. For me, it was, and this is, again, I have to stress, it's not me kink shaming, it's just me going, all right, that
exists. That's a thing.
I think it was to pretend to be pregnant and literally scream, asking him for help to pull a baby out of me. I would do it. I don't ever want kids either, so it's kind of like I was like
double whammy.
is this grossing me out, or am I okay to do this? I'm pretty fine. Like, it's wild. And he wanted me to do a 10-minute video, and I was like, how am I going to fill the time? But I did it. He loved it. He has been back since. And it was nice to explore that with him and learn myself. I was very honest in saying I've never done this before. Excuse me if I like have to do it a few different takes or like suddenly burst out laughing because I don't know how I can be serious. But I did it, and it was wild, man. It was. I thought that was pretty cool, but also strange for me to do.
This is a good one that we didn't talk about that I do want to kind of discuss. How do you feel when your stuff ends up getting leaked? Not linked, leaked.
That's tough.
Has that happened to you?
There's a campsite that I was on that someone recorded stuff, and there's also stuff on a very well-known porn site where I worked at a house that was a cam house, and I was able to work my normal jobs at this place, but we were supposed to get paid to stay at this cam house. It's almost like a Big Brother house, and they took a video of me working and uploaded it to the porn site, and it's still there. It's not that great, by the way. If anyone wants to look for it, I don't think my name's not in there. It's just like hot girl getting off while on cam or something.
Wow, so they didn't
even
be
anyone. That could be anyone.
And they didn't pay us. Obviously, at the time I was living with my mum, and so it was like free accommodation and an exciting holiday with my friends. And so the being paid was a bonus, but also it was not okay that they didn't pay us. I was there for like 10 weeks or so. And they took content of us and shared it. So that was difficult. But at the same time, doing this kind of job, I would say to anyone getting into it, be prepared to have your stuff everywhere. And if you're not okay with that, then don't do it, because there's a risk that your family will find out. There's risk that friends will find out. And if you can't deal with that, it's going to be tough for you. I know I don't like the fact that my family can find out. I've told my mum what I do, which was very hard for me to do because she's a very strict Irish Catholic. And she's got a huge judgmental family who, if they find out, they're kind of like, okay, wow. But saying that, people probably watch this on Twitch. And what's the difference in I'm making money, I'm enjoying myself. These are I know I've got a cluster of jobs, but this is the first time I've ever been really happy with what I do. And I don't ever want to go back to a traditional job. People call it a proper job, but this is a proper job. This is what I earn my money from. It may be different to 10, 20 years ago, what the traditional jobs may have been.
Yeah.
But and even I'm still getting used to that this is a job.
Yeah.
Because when I started, I was like, I've been in the office for many years and I've been someone else's bitch. And now I've got people that
now
I
you're
can
the
boss
boss
around.
bitch in charge.
Now it's time for you to make everybody else your bitch.
I only got this one. I was like treating myself one day. I was like, this feels wrong, but so right. So I've got used to it now. But but I guess if my family find out, like, what are they going to do? Just be like, oh my God, she gets naked for money now, or she is a dominatrix now. Like, cool. Like, what do you do for work? Cool.
Yeah,
too.
you hate it, don't you?
Like, I'm glad, I'm happy, and I
I mean,
found that.
As long as you're like paying your bills, you're taking care of yourself, and you're doing what you need to do, I don't really see why it matters, like, what you're doing. Like, you're happy, and at the end of the day, that's the only thing that really matters. So fuck the haters.
Exactly.
It's also not like your work isn't hard work. Like, it's super time consuming. You have to get in touch with all of the, tech of it. You have to edit everything, make sure everything is perfect, and all of the preparation that goes into it, all of the creativity that goes into it. Like, it uses legitimate skills.
And I think I saw in one of the draft questions is like, what would you say? What would be the one thing you would tell people about OnlyFans creators, or what's different about your job? Or I can't remember specifically.
It was like, what is something that you want people to know about OnlyFans content creators?
Yeah. And particularly during the pandemic, I've taken on a lot more sites. I'm juggling everything as well as Twitch. So it is tougher than it has been the last few years. So it is hard work. It's a grind. If you want to be successful, you have to put in the work. You can't just post a couple of videos and be like, hey, everyone, I'm naked on the internet, go follow me. Because if you're not keeping that consistent, they're not going to care. They're going to be like, oh, well, I've joined this other person and she posts content daily for $3. So you're $25 and you're posting one video a month? Nah, I'd rather have 4 hours of content and someone who talks to me and $5 a month. That's what I do. And I always kind of keep an eye on how many hours of content I've put into my main feed. So at the end of the month, I can say, thanks everyone for joining this month. This is what you got. I hope that was good value for money. And it kind of reminds people that you do a shit ton. Yeah. And I'm juggling life and friendships and a relationship and Twitch and camming and all sorts of things. Modeling.
You've got a lot going on.
There's many things. So it is hard work, but you'll be successful if you put the effort in.
Oh my god.
We did get a question from OJ the Viking a little while back. It said, what could be worse? I printed your photo and came on it, or I printed your photo and gave you a makeover.
Oh
no. Okay, I think that depends on whether or not I know about it.
They're gonna tell you. They're telling. Let's say this is the message that you get. You can choose one or the other. What
you get a picture of the picture, and there's either.
Oh, if I get a picture, I'm absolutely gonna want to see the makeover versus seeing a stranger's cum on my face. If those are my options, I'll take the makeover. Thank you.
I don't know. I don't like either option, but I don't want people looking at me too and being like, here's how I'm gonna make your face look different.
Both hit you differently, but maybe not in the best ways. I don't know. Or it's a compliment? I don't know.
I don't know. So if there's no more questions, I think we're done here. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been so great. You are incredibly kind and awesome, and just loved hearing everything you had to say.
Okay.
I love your entire community. Your fans seem like really stand-up people.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure being here. I knew you were all, like I said earlier, I saw a couple of, I didn't watch the whole VODs or anything like that, but I saw a few moments and I thought, they seem like nice people. So I was very nervous anyway, but I feel like I've known you all for ages. Like, this is like a nice way to do a podcast, and I would
I love it.
Back again one day, even if you're struggling for people,
please,
absolutely.
Like, we'd absolutely love to have you back on any sort of content video that we're doing. It's just been like a lot of fun.
We do post the audio to Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We also post the VOD to YouTube. Please share it with friends if you like this. That's the best way for us to grow and have more people as part of this community. And then if you like it too, leave a 5-star review. Anything else, we don't want it. I'm kidding though. We'll take suggestions.
Make sure to go give Fee a follow too. I just linked all of her stuff in chat.
Please. Fee, thank you for being here, and everybody, thank you for the warm welcome too from not just our community but Fee's community. Thank you for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.